Welcome back to the Bench the Mic podcast. I am your host. What the?
Holst?
I am your host, Caleb Foltz, also known as CF3.
I'm also your Holst. Chris Cortez, also known as Chris Cortez.
Today we are talking about the college football video game. Just dropped. What, like 2 days ago? Yesterday?
It's like
As we're recording this?
within 48 hours.
Yeah, just dropped. It's going crazy all over the internet. So we have to hop on that train. We're hopping on. We're choo-chooing along. And, you know, we cover Maction. Mac football. We love it. We love BGSU. We love watching Mac. We love talking about Mac. Maction. Bruce. You chewing the wire. But we love talking about it. And so today we're going to cover the overall rankings of the teams and some of the best players and see if we disagree or agree or not. You know, a little disagree-agree action. Also, we got a new section that actually was common in one of our last videos. Remember how we were thinking pretty or petty? This is what we're calling it, hot or not.
Ooh, whoever came up with that. Props to you.
Hot or not.
I like that.
We're using that.
How did we not? We've come up with so much stuff. How did we not? How did we not come up with that?
It's the power of our viewers, man. We needed them. We needed them to, when we were lacking, they came in and said hot or not.
We appreciate you guys.
Thank you. We're using that. Hot or not.
Hot or not.
So we're on hustlebelt.com, and the article is called General Rankings for the Mid-American Conference and EA College Football 25 Revealed, with a front cover of a Western Michigan Bronco. Yeah. Fire. The animation and the player style looks so cool.
You know, when I first took a look at that, I thought I was looking at like a picture from a game.
Dude, it's really good, is it not? It's really good.
First things first.
Look at the shadowing and like the detail in the muscles. That's pretty fire too.
First things first, of course. EA Sports College Football 25. I personally haven't played it, but from what I've seen, the videos and the shorts that I've watched, this might be the greatest football game ever made.
Dude, it makes you want to buy a console and play it.
It makes me want to drop $700 to buy a PS5 with the game.
Bruce, could you please behave, man? I'd appreciate it. Sorry, guys. We have a dog in here. But, dude, I really want to drop the money for one. I do.
So, Cold Seats Hot Takes. Is EA Sports College Football 25 worth $700? It is Chris Cortez approved. I would spend $700 if I had the money, of course. I would drop $700 right now to buy this game. It looks awesome.
I don't know.
With what, like 136, 146 different teams, you get to make your own. You get to create your own school. So I'm sure this guy, with all he does with D3, he would just make a whole D3 conference.
I would.
You can make your own high school team, of course. Make your own stadiums. This game's awesome. Technical difficulties.
Don't worry, we're gonna take a pause. Yeah. Is it recording? Bruce, quit being a fucking moron. God damn it, you bastard. You're sitting next to me. Actually, you're sitting next to Chris. Papa Chris. Uncle Chris. And you were gonna chew this bone and you're gonna be fucking rude. Thank you. Yeah. We'll edit that out. Thanks for making my job harder. Piece of shit mutt. No, I'm just kidding. He's cool. All right. What were you saying? Go ahead.
$700. I'd spend it. Make your own high school. Make your own college. Make your own conference if you want. I don't know how many teams you can make, because in the game that I have on the Nintendo GameCube, I can make up to, I think, 10 or 13 NCAA 2003, I believe. Wow. You can make up to like 10 or 13 teams. Overall, this game just looks awesome. I haven't even seen what's it called?
Any gameplay?
Like, I've seen gameplay, but what's the story mode? Like Rising Star Road to Glory, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, Road to Glory, yep.
Yeah, Road to Glory. That looks amazing. Shout out to Kent State. I don't remember the guy's name, but he made it on the cover of Road to Glory.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the whole Instagram post about that. That looks awesome. I'm probably going to play as that guy if I ever get my hands on one.
Kent State uniforms look fire, too.
They've grown on me. Honestly, my favorite uniform they have are the baby blue ones they got.
I like those, but I do like the all yellow helmet with the all white. I do like their away uniforms. Like, I really do like those. So
if we ever make it out to Kent, Ohio, we definitely got to get some Kent State gear.
Dude. Absolutely.
So what do you think? What I guess take a minute. What's your first thoughts on the game?
My thoughts on the game so far. I watched some gameplay, and it doesn't look anything like Madden, which is what I'm happy
No.
about. I thought it was going to be a Madden cut and copy paste kind of thing. But no, I'm definitely happy with it. I've watched Not the Expert play it. I watched some of the Raps, one of my two favorite like kind of football YouTubers. They talk about like controversies and Not the Expert plays games. So that's kind of fun. I definitely do want to play it because I love the animation style of like the jukes, the spin moves, like the way they make cuts. It just looks awesome. And like, dude, college football is just so much better than the NFL. And so just being able to play a new game about that, awesome. And I would love to build my Bluffton Beaver squad in it.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. Any Division III team, any Division II team, even any high school team, get to put them up against Division I FBS. And I think you could put is FCS in there? Because that's all I saw a North
there's no
Dakota logo.
There's no FCS, unfortunately.
Thought I saw a North Dakota State logo in there.
Some might have modded and imported one. That's
That's
occasionally.
probably what I was looking at. But yeah, this game overall, it looks excellent. Hopefully we get our hands on one someday, and we'll definitely get some content out there for you guys.
That's actually a promise. That's a promise. Eventually, the CF3 channel will bring college football gameplay. I know we talked about it in the past how I wanted to get one, but in the situation I'm in right now with trying to pursue a football like position, I'm trying to get a starting job, and I'm trying to pursue a different major. I'm switching to communication media. I need to lock in.
There's a lot of different variables right now.
Exactly, and I also have a puppy, and so it's not really a good time for a gaming console. If that makes sense.
It will happen though.
Definitely,
It will happen.
definitely expect it to come into the channel because it's definitely will happen. Okay, so let's dive into the team rankings of the MAC.
You got to tap on the overall. It sorts them from best to worst.
Does it?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, that's sweet. So, starting off, actually, we'll start off with the worst. We'll start with the worst. The
Yeah,
worst.
yeah.
The worst team in the MAC, according to College Football 25, is Ball State with a 66 offense, 60 defense with a 60 overall. I agree with that because they sucked. They sucked last year. They had like what one or two wins last year?
I don't agree with that.
Really?
They went like 4-8. It's still bad, but come on, guys. They won. We'll get to the team that was the worst in the MAC here in a few minutes, but come on, guys. Ball State wasn't the worst team in college football, but you get although they did lose a lot of people in the transfer portal.
Well, let's pull up like a Big Ten, like so. In terms of like a Power 5, so we're comparing like Group of 5 to Power 5.
Sure.
So we get like a baseline.
Who's the worst in the Big Ten? Let's
Like
go off that.
Nebraska maybe or Indiana, Rutgers,
Go all the way down.
Northwestern.
80.
So Northwestern for a baseline in the Big Ten, they're the worst. And Michigan State is tied, I guess, 80 overall. So that kind of gives you a baseline of like I guess Power 5 Big Ten conference. So in the MAC, the worst team is a 68, which isn't bad if you really think about it in terms of.
Although I don't know how they stack up to the rest of the teams in college football because there's over 120 of them. But 68 overall, that's really bad. Although for people that love rebuilding schools, this is probably going to be your top option for building for a dynasty mode or whatever it's called.
Especially when you stay in the MAC for sure.
Yeah, and then you get eventually when you get because you also get the jump conferences. So you get Ball State to solid 80, win a couple MAC titles, move them to the Big Ten.
Fire.
And when you move them to the Big Ten and they win a couple more Big Ten titles, move them to the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
Then you rule college football.
Dude, we should try to, if we ever get the game, we should get BG to join like the SEC and win a natty.
You know, we're gonna get to that in a minute, but they could probably compete with the worst teams in Division I because I'm just really shocked on how good their overall is, to be honest.
Absolutely. All right, moving up, Eastern Michigan. So, 67 offense, 62 defense, 71 overall. I mean, they weren't great last year, were they? I mean, I thought they were considered to be one of the worst.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Although at the same time, I kind of don't because they also made a bowl game, and you got to respect the fact that they made a bowl game. But again, they lost a lot of like seniors and transfers that went out. But 71 overall, I guess it's kind of disappointing. But at the same time, really last year they only beat the bottom of the barrel teams. They were the worst best team, if that makes any sense.
Was their defense really that bad to be a 62? Like, why is their offense like 5 overall better?
Their defense was kind of bad, but
Gotcha.
And then they went on to get blown out like 55-6 or 55-0 in their bowl game.
Jesus.
It was bad.
But they had 6 wins.
Understand
they had 6 wins.
They
though.
made a bowl game which I agree with them not being good, but the teams that are above them, I don't agree with them being that low. So I guess in terms of maybe hot or not, I would say this is not a fair rating for the Eastern Michigan Eagles.
Not. I am excited to see the new stadium though, and their new gray and green field from. Is it Mason Crosby's the name?
Max Crosby.
Max.
Like,
Crosby.
is it what Max Crosby Field at Rynearson Stadium is what it's called now, or something like that? I don't know. They play my school my senior year, and it's at Eastern, so I'm definitely gonna make the 1 hour trek up to Eastern to check out the new stadium.
Fire, gas. All right, Akron, 69 offense, 68 defense, 73 overall. Akron, I just know them for being the booty cheek football team that they are. I mean, do they deserve to be above Eastern Michigan and Ball State?
No.
Did they beat them last year?
I don't.
It's a great question. Did they?
We're gonna fact check that.
I mean, Akron does have fire uniforms, so they deserve to be a 73 if the uniforms are an influence on that, because the Zips, man. I like the Zips. I like their colors. I like the way they do things. I like their stadium.
Yeah, they went 2-10 last year.
Did they beat just Ball State
awful.
and Eastern Michigan? So how is a bowl game? How does a team that makes a bowl game lower than?
Beats me.
That is terrible, EA.
The only MAC team they beat was Kent State, and we haven't even gotten to them yet.
That is terrible, EA. Eastern Michigan made a bowl game, but they're still...
And they're the second worst team in the MAC. Come on,
did they
guys.
graduate a lot of guys?
That's what I'm thinking. But they got their quarterback back, and their quarterback was pretty good. You watched him against BGSU. You watched that, or a little bit of that game, and you thought he was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I just...
Terrible.
It's horrible. They did lose their running back among other guys, but they also gained quite a bit from the transfer portal. But
that's terrible.
We got 4-8. They deserve to be bad, but not last in the MAC bad. Then we got a bowl team who's second to worst, who shouldn't be second to worst. And then now we got Akron, who went 2-10, who's above both of those teams, and they didn't beat either of them. They've won one MAC game, and the MAC team that they beat is a couple spots ahead of them. It's horrible.
What did you do, EA?
Did you just all right, it's the MAC, let's just draw numbers out of a hat?
They probably did, man. They probably
just saved the MAC for the last, to be honest.
They probably didn't have time to actually think this through, bro.
No, they probably just all right, let's look at the standings, let's look at the top four.
We're just going to play with this group of five. Yeah. This group of five. Well, I can't even talk. Group of five conference.
Group of guys, group of fives.
Group of guys, group of five conference. All right, moving on to Buffalo. 64 offense, 70 defense with a 73 overall. Shout out to Buffalo.
Love their uniforms.
Buffalo has the sickest colors, and they do a great job with their uniforms.
I'd give them a 94 overall for the uniforms because I just love the shade of blue they got.
Dude.
And their blackouts are so good.
Oh, yeah, they're fire. And their mascot's sick.
Yeah.
Defense is awesome. I mean, they seem like a defensive squad. I don't know much about Buffalo. I don't know much about them. But... I mean, I know they're always a middle-of-the-pack team usually, right? Or usually, I mean, like in the early 2000s, they were up there, weren't they, in the MAC?
Yeah, and then the Khalil Mack in the 2010s.
Yeah.
Can't ever forget about that.
Mm-hmm,
but,
fire.
Overall, I agree with this. This is a good place for Buffalo. They deserve to be near the bottom, but not at the bottom. They did lose a ton of people from graduation and transferring and declaring for the NFL.
I think they should be up higher, though. Like I see some of the teams above them. They need to be higher.
I don't think they should be higher. It's the fact that the teams above them should be lower. But I think
that's
Buffalo,
what I'm saying.
Where Buffalo is, I think they're fine where they're at because they're not going to be a good squad next season.
Gotcha. NIU, 67 offense, 64 defense, 73 overall. NIU, I know nothing about.
This one shocks me.
Chris, you go ahead. I have nothing. I have no idea nothing.
NIU, I would put them a couple spots higher. Once again, they're not a good team, but Ball State beat them in their rivalry game. The battle for the Bronze Husk, I believe, is what it's called.
Wow.
It's the Bronze Stalk, I believe. But again, I would put them like right at dead center. They're like a couple spots too low for me. I would put them right at dead center. They got a really good running game. They got a pretty decent offense, and their defense does enough for them to win games. Like they were a 2-point conversion away from beating Toledo last season.
Wow.
Yeah, they lost that game 42-41.
So, I mean, they were competitive.
Yeah, they never got blown out last year. Is it fair to put them right here? I could see where they're coming from if they actually gave it a deep dive, but I would have put them like right in the middle, the mid American team, the mid American
The
team,
mid.
the middest of the mid American team.
Love that. That should be a segment. Moving on to Kent State. 71 offense, 68 defense, 74
Oh
overall.
my goodness, it stinks.
Stinks.
This is where the list stinks.
I do know there's a DeShields, though. I know because I played with the DeShields at Mount Union, and his little brother is playing at Kent State as a QB. So I have a little Kent State love, man.
Good for him.
But yeah, man, Kent State, fire colors, fire uniforms. But
Among one of the ones that are up there, in my opinion, for uniforms.
but straight Dookie.
Oh, they're the worst team in college football. What are they doing?
Dookie.
What EA? What are you doing putting the worst team in college football last year?
Who's even on their
In the
offense?
middle.
Who's even on their offense to make it a 71?
Nobody. They lost everybody.
Did
Nobody.
they bring in any notable transfers that you heard or anything?
Nothing I heard.
Moving on.
Yeah, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Take 74 and minus it by 30.
Minus it by 30.
Kent State's bad.
Honestly, they should be at the bottom.
Yes. I say that
Ohio.
now, and they just somehow beat my school.
Do you see Ohio's in the middle? One of the most competitive
Yeah.
teams in the MAC last year. I know they have like NFL linemen, switch that to green. They're one of the most competitive like teams. I think they have like a 5th or 6th year quarterback that came back, right? He's pretty good.
No, he's actually gone.
He's gone?
Curtis Rourke, he transferred to Indiana.
No way.
Yep.
Dang.
I guess I kind of see where they're coming from with this ranking, but the guy that's below him is not bad by any means.
So maybe they're just sleeping on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's sleeping on him. But that's crazy. I mean, they were still Ohio's always competitive. I know they graduated. There's some solid offensive linemen. Like the guy went to the NFL.
Yeah, they got a big one coming back, though. Parker Titsworth. Yeah. He's coming back as their center. He's
That's fire.
like a 2-time All-MAC center. He's really good.
Fire. That's fire,
Yeah.
dude. That's awesome. But,
Because of the memes, because of his name, and the coverage he got on Barstool Sports. The student section, they were like, "Oh my goodness, that's Parker Titsworth. We need to get his autograph right now."
that's so cool. But yeah, this is wild. This is probably the most controversial team in this list. Like they do not belong there. I think they belong honestly in the top 4 or 5.
I would put him up there as well in the top, at least fourth, or maybe right at fourth. They don't deserve to be where they're at right now.
Crazy. Central Michigan. They are 69 offense, 74 defense, 76 overall as a team. I don't know anything about Central Michigan. I love their colors though. Are they like the Chippewas or
Yeah, Chippewas. The stadium looks awesome though.
stadium? I watched like a bowl game played in that stadium. It was fire, dude.
Biggest stadium in the MAC, which, if you check out our Instagram, we are slated to go there.
We are. Stay tuned.
But of course, everything's tentative. Anything could happen. He's busy. I'm busy. See.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Overall. Oh wait, hang on.
16 offense, 74.
They're too high. I put them near the middle.
How they finished in the conference last year? We probably should have this pulled up beforehand, guys, but we are just not on our A game today. Or are we ever on our A game? That's the real question. That's the real question.
That's what makes this podcast so great. Everything's raw.
Everything's raw and ready to go. MAC standings for
that
2023.
That was the basketball standings.
Yeah, we need the football standings, Chris.
We need the football.
We just need a guy in the corner being like, "Hey, Rick, pull up." You know, like how
Yeah, no kidding.
how most big podcasts do that. We'll get that in the future. So
Stay tuned though. We could be having job offers out there for you guys.
Ooh,
Be a full-time standby crew member.
do fire.
Okay, Central Michigan. They finished 5-7. So I would put them in terms of MAC. That it's bad, but it's like not horrible in terms of MAC, but
So like, did they return a bunch of guys? Like,
they must have.
is that how this list was made too? Is like they kind of looked at the returners versus
I think because based on what's at the top, they definitely did. Like with what they did to Bowling Green and Western, that's definitely what they did.
because Western was terrible.
Oh my goodness.
We'll get. I want to dive into that later.
Oh
but-
yeah, we're gonna put a whole segment for Western.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, put your seatbelts on for that. I would put them like right with NIU, like right below NIU,
Yeah.
but right they're it's just a tad high for me.
I would just put Buffalo and Ohio higher and put Kent State, Northern Illinois down, and then put Central Michigan
agree.
down too. I think Ohio and Buffalo need to be above Central Michigan.
I agree. This is we could make a whole cold seats hot takes for this, or are
This is so
takes even
much.
hot? Are these even hot
I think
takes?
these are normal
I
takes.
don't even think these are hot takes.
I
These are
think
just-
any average Mac watcher would agree with what we're saying.
but there's no average Mac watchers.
Oh.
Did you see that? Did you see that Western Michigan Stadium, Caleb?
It was only the band. It was only the band
it was
there.
the band.
It was us, the BTM, the
It was
BTM podcast, and the band.
the BTM and the band and the players.
UMass is independent.
Hang on,
Did
let me look at that because UMass, they're bad.
they not just join? They just joined, right?
I think they're a full-time member this year. I think it might be next season. I think it's next season.
They're 6 in offense, 70 defense, and 76 overall. They are the 5th ranked team according to EA in the MAC, but they just joined, and they were bad last year. You said?
Yeah,
what conference were
they
they
were
last year?
bad. Independent. Yeah, I knew they were bad. They're 3-9. They're high, too high.
How is Eastern Michigan making a bowl game but at the bottom, and a
I
team that
know.
went 3-9 is the 5th best team?
EA, what are you doing?
What teams did they play? Did you pull it up?
Independent, so it's they can play everybody. They played. Oh wait. New Mexico State, they won.
Okay.
Auburn, they lost.
Okay.
Miami, they lost, and that's Miami of Ohio.
Okay.
They played Eastern and lost. They played New Mexico and lost. They played Arkansas State and lost. They played Toledo and lost. They played Penn State and lost 63-0. Wow. They played Army and won. They played Merrimack and won. Liberty, they lost. Connecticut, they lost.
So they played some pretty solid competition. So
They played some good like group
it makes
of 5
sense, but like
teams,
put them
but
above Ohio,
that's-
Buffalo.
That's too high for me still.
5th in the conference is crazy. Put
I-
them down. They need to be like 2 or 3 spots down. I don't think they should be bottom because based on the competition they played.
No.
Also, this should have been red this whole time. But
Actually, you know what?
huh?
Looking where they're at right now, because of course Ohio would be above them. Buffalo, I'd put above them. Maybe put them like in between. Who would I say? Put them above Central, or no, put them below NIU and Central Michigan, and they're in a good spot. Like right there in the middle.
I like that
That's where I'd put them.
because they did play some good competition. So
Yeah,
I
they
give them
did.
that.
They did. If they were a MAC team, they would have had the hardest schedule.
All right, moving on to Bowling Green. I absolutely agree with this 100%. Okay, what's more orange? This one? What's more
Yeah,
orange? That's orange.
that's
That's
orange.
BG orange.
That's
so BG orange. 75 offense, 72 defense, 79 overall. I absolutely 1000% love this ranking and these overalls because they have tons of returners. They have some
Yep.
amazing transfers on both sides of the ball. BG is going to go win it all if Bazelak can play his best game. We keep saying this. If Bazelak plays his best brand of football, if he plays that SEC Freshman of the Year brand of football, he will win it all with BGSU. This is a perfect ranking. I do think they should be above, well, Toledo and Miami. Wait, they should be above Western Michigan. I don't know why Western Michigan's up as high as they are, but I guess I agree and disagree with where they have BG, but I love the overall rankings because BG has some serious transfers coming in and some serious returners. They have a chance to win it all.
Yeah, I think I think they're good where they're at third. I think the only team that would be above them would be Ohio, then Toledo right below them. I think that's where I'd have them as well. Great returners, of course. They got
Most of
the
them
best
Power
running-
5 transfers. Like
Great. They got the best running back in the MAC coming back in Terrion Stewart. That's that number 4 that you said looked like a bowling ball on TV.
He's
like
fire.
the guy that's like 4. He looks like he's 4'11", but he weighs like 250 pounds. He's just a walking muscle out there. He's coming back.
Plus
Great.
that tight end,
Yeah.
wing, running back guy they had.
Yeah, Harold Fannin,
He's
44.
insane. He's insane, dude.
This guy had a heyday watching him against Western.
It
He
was
loved
awesome.
him.
Awesome.
I would have to agree with this ranking. I can't be mad at where they're at.
Yeah, better than the past NCAA games of BG.
Yeah.
NCAA 14
Oh my goodness,
BG terrible.
They won the MAC that year, and they were like what, a 73 or a 74?
Yeah, they weren't very high.
No, they were horrible.
And they also sucked to play with. They just weren't fun. They had no fun players to play with.
Yeah, and they won the MAC that year. That makes no sense, but
Weird.
Yeah, I can't complain. I like where they're at.
Toledo Rockets, 76 offense, 74 defense, 79 overall. I disagree because they lost their quarterback.
And a lot of other people.
But that backup QB is pretty solid, actually.
Tucker Gleason.
He was pretty solid.
He's
Didn't he come
really
in
good.
towards the end of that BG game? He was pretty solid, wasn't he?
That was 2 years ago. That was 2 seasons ago.
Oh, then who was that
He
then?
started against BG, and he was really good.
Okay, my fault. My brain
No, you're good.
merges all together.
I think he was the full-time backup, though. I think he played in their bowl game, and he didn't do bad. I like where Toledo's at. They always pump out a really good team year in, year out. Doesn't matter who they have.
They have Mount Union coaches, so they're going to be solid.
Yeah, they got great game plans, great recruiting. They have just a great brand, like people in just Ohio kids. Him and I'm sure if we got a call from Toledo, we would instantly go to Toledo if we wanted.
I'd take any D1 offer, to be honest.
Well, if you had the choice from all like Ohio schools outside of Cincinnati and Ohio State, would you go to Toledo if you had everyone else? Like all the MAC teams, who would you?
Out of the MAC teams, who would I pick?
It'd be between Miami and Toledo.
I think for me, it'd be between Miami, Toledo, or Akron. Just got like Akron's campus, and I like what they're trying to build over there.
I just like the Glass Bowl.
The Glass Bowl.
It's probably the best. It's the best stadium in the MAC. It is.
Fire. I have to go see a game. I've only seen the outside of it, and I've only seen pictures.
Well, maybe we'll have to go to a midweek action game. They play Ohio on a Tuesday night. Should be a great game near the end of the year.
Stay tuned for that.
But
Potentially.
Yeah, Toledo. I agree where they're at. They're just always a pretty solid team. I would be shocked if they have a down season this year. Honestly.
Now for the absolute no-brainer of this, Miami. 73 offense, 70 defense, 80 overall. Miami has been dominating in the MAC the last probably 2 or 3 seasons, I'd say.
They were on the come-up 2 seasons ago. Last year, they proved by getting everyone back, and they won the whole thing with their backup quarterback.
Yeah, and he left, though, to go play. I think did he go Power 5?
No, he went to FCS. Avion Smith, I think he went
That's
to
what it
Charles.
was. Yep,
like
that's what it was.
Charleston State? I don't know. It was an FCS school. I think
I hope he starts, though, because he's a dog.
Oh, yeah, he deserves 100%. I think it's a no-brainer. I think he'll start.
Yeah.
That's another video someday. Maybe we'll do a segment on him, see how he's doing mid-season maybe.
That'd be cool.
But I disagree because
Really?
on your computer they have him at second. I think they should be first. Like if you're going to put Miami at 80
That's
and
true.
the other team as an 80, but it's slightly better because of their offensive and defensive stats, put Miami as an 81. They won the MAC. They went like 12-2. Make them the best team in the MAC this year.
Yeah, I don't know why Western Michigan's number 1. Like, we can get into that right now if you want to. I don't know if I have Brown on here. Do I have Brown on here?
I don't know.
I guess I go like
That's
this.
kind of like their shade of white. It was kind of like an off pearl white. But
We'll go with the
Miami, great run game, great passing game. It's between Brett Gabbert, Blaine Gabbert's brother, by the way.
Ooh.
Brett Gabbert and Bazelak for the best quarterback in the MAC for sure. I just think that's disrespectful tying them with Western Michigan.
Yeah, because even BG beat Western Michigan. Like, they were not even remotely
Western
good.
Michigan won like 4 games. I'll check again to make sure, but they won
Did
like
they have
4
some
games.
crazy transfers come in?
They must have.
We'll look it up after the podcast. We might even post it on our Instagram just to talk about it some more. But man, why is Western Michigan number? Western Michigan is 80 offense, 70 defense, 80 overall. What?
Not a cold seat
We
hot
went to
take.
that game.
This is a room temperature
Suggestion.
suggestion. Yeah.
Like, EA, what is wrong with you?
EA, put this team near the bottom. Why are they the best team in the MAC?
How are they above Ohio, Bowling Green, Toledo, and Miami?
How are they above the teams that beat them?
Who do they bring in?
Did they bring in like Donovan Edwards or something from Michigan? I don't know.
Dude, awful. I don't even want to talk about this. It's actually making me mad. But
Horrible.
It-
We watched that team play,
and they got
it was
smacked.
atrocious.
They got smacked.
Now they did have like freshman of the year in the running back, but that's one guy on a team of trash cans.
Well, are they run heavy? I don't think they were run heavy. I think they were pretty balanced in terms of they were trying to pass it. They were trying to, I think they're trying to run a little bit, but
They tried to pass.
they tried.
They tried.
DB's clamped though.
They were. It wasn't even that. The quarterback was awful.
He was pretty bad. They throw that interception like on the 20-yard line or something, something like that. It was something like that.
on.
It was so bad, bro. Well, so my ranking personally, if I was EA, it'd be in this order: Miami, BG, Toledo, Ohio, UMass, Buffalo, Central Michigan, NIU, Eastern Michigan, Kent State, Akron, Ball State. That'd be my order.
Let me see. How did Western do? Yeah, Western went 4-8. They finished second to last in the West Division.
What is that?
That's disrespectful, EA. You're bad. Quite frankly, you're just not good.
Not even remotely tasteful.
First looks though, my personal list from first to worst: Miami, Toledo, Bowling Green, Ohio. Then NIU, Central, Buffalo, Eastern, Western, Akron, Ball State, Kent State.
Give Kent State the lowest.
I did give Kent State the lowest. They're horrible. They were the worst. They were statistically and literally the worst team in college football last season, and they're right in dead center of the rankings. Granted, I did give Eastern a little disrespect. I was just making this list off the fly. I would have put them up there too, but yeah, I just this list, quite frankly, to give it a letter grade, C. Like the teams that are solid, that are going to be solid, are right where they need to be. Then there's just some overrated and super underrated teams. So I'm going to give this list overall a C.
Oof.
It's just not the best for me. All right, a C minus. My final ranking. It's just not that good.
If I buy the game, I'm gonna go in and fix this. If I buy the game, I'm gonna go in and edit the rosters and fix this and correct.
It's just not pretty. C minus. What do you think, Caleb?
Wow, they have how EA has it.
Yeah, I guess to give it a letter grade, what would you give this?
I really like C minus. That's a really good grade because it's not awful.
Yeah,
but it's just like Western Michigan really drops it for me. It could be like a B minus B list.
Yeah, and then you got
but this
Western
Michigan
number 1.
out of nowhere drops it a whole letter grade for me. Like just terrible,
awful.
So kind of closing out here. We have one more segment of talking about the best players on the MAC, in the MAC. But we're gonna just talk about BG today before we get out of here because we watched a lot of BG and we mentioned a lot of player names. So we're just gonna talk about
the top 5. I guess it has the top 5 teams on BG's team if we agree with their ratings.
Yep. And we're gonna start off with the first one. No brainer. Harold Fan Jr. tight end / fullback, 89 overall.
Deserved.
1,000. Dude, he should be 99.
Yeah, he's the best player on the team.
Absolute. He could probably play Power 5. I mean, he's a stud.
Well, according to college football, I think it's what's it called? Sooner. I don't know. It's one of the biggest like college football outlets, and they put him at the 8th or 7th best tight end in all of Division I.
And he absolutely deserves that. I mean, he was. No one on the field could touch him, bro. I mean, he was his own. I mean, he was his own world out there, man.
He played everywhere, even when people like were injured or just sat out for next season in the bowl game. He played. He was playing halfback, fullback, split end, slot, tight end. He could have played quarterback for all I cared. So 89, well deserved. He's going to be a great player to build with, or if you're playing the game, he's going to be a great player to use for
sling it deep.
Slinging it deep,
run it with
building
him.
a career with him, or even if you want him to hit the transfer portal, see how he does at a Power 5 school. That'll be a great play feature for him too in the game. Overall, I agree.
Nice. Number 2, Jordan
Oladokin,
cornerback, 86 overall. I'm not gonna lie, I honestly hated BG's DBs. I thought they got cooked a lot. So as someone that doesn't really know who that is,
right?
But BG's DBs got cooked a lot towards the end of the season, especially against Minnesota, especially against some other teams I saw them play against. Even though they didn't have an interception against Western Michigan that I saw. But just saying, I don't know how it is. Chris, you speak on it because you've seen more.
I would put him at an 84. I think it's this high because they had the most interceptions in Division One, but that was mostly from their other two guys. Oladokin was pretty good, but he wasn't on the same level as the guys above him that are now in the NFL. But I would give him an 84. He's still a super solid defensive back, but 86 might be a little too high for my liking. But who knows? I mean, hopefully he proves me wrong.
Yeah. Terrion Stewart, halfback, 86 overall. Well deserved.
Deserved. I would honestly,
1,000%.
I'd give him an 87. I'd make it just a hair higher. 87 overall.
I think it's perfect for him. I mean, group of 5 running back, he balls out.
Yeah.
86, I think 86 is perfect.
I can't complain. 86 overall, great power back. He has a great speed. He's very elusive as well.
Great personality.
Yeah.
Great guy's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
All the stuff I see on him at on the BG accounts, hilarious.
He's got
hilarious,
his.
dude.
Have you ever seen like his personal account too?
I've only seen it like once or twice.
Yeah, he's a pretty funny guy. He's a great guy.
Connor Bazelak, QB, 80 overall. 1,000% perfect because he's either a 99 overall or a 60 overall. I mean, Bazelak can either be the best QB in college football or the worst.
Yeah.
So 80 overall, perfect. Connor Bazelak, please ball out this year, man. Please. Or transfer to Bluffton. We need a QB. Number 5, Darius
McClendon.
Was it SAF? Was it safety? Safety.
I've never heard a safety with that as SAF.
I guess it's safety. 78 overall. Like I said,
Yeah.
BGZB's got cooked a lot. Don't know why it's that high.
I think 78's fine. Like I said, they led Division 1 in interceptions, so 78, it's all right.
Yeah, I'm so surprised that there's 2 DBs that made the top 5 for BG. Like I feel like there's other players that could be talked about. Like even some receivers or
like
maybe a lineman.
like the transfers they got. Yeah, or they had one of the best statistical Division 1 like defensive lines in college football. I don't know.
That one DN.
I get what you're saying.
What's that one DN that you guys have? He's really good.
He plays for Texas A&M now. Cassius
really?
Howell. Is that who you're thinking of?
I think so. He was fun to watch at Western Michigan.
Yeah.
He went to a team that they're gonna play.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He got paid though, dude.
Did he?
Yeah, he got paid. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's all we have for this episode.
I just want to see who the highest rated player in the MAC is.
87 Dante Kent looks like that.
Central.
Matt Salopek, linebacker, 90 overall from Miami.
Oh, it's probably him.
Maxon Hook, 88 overall from Toledo.
Yeah, it's
Miami's linebacker.
Matt Salopek. Yeah, it's deserved. That you've probably never heard of him, but that guy's a stud. He makes every other tackle on the Miami defense. Well deserved. I just want to see who the top MAC player
Brett
was.
Gabbert's an 83.
That's well deserved as well. Yeah, that's pretty much all we got though.
So, thanks for watching. Appreciate you boys watching. As always, man, we're trying to really stay consistent. We're trying to keep posting episodes for you guys, come up with fun ideas to talk about. We had a great time with Emily and Kendra last week. It was a whole lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed the reels that came out. But yeah, guys, Chris, close us out.
Wherever you are, have a great morning, noon, afternoon, and night. God bless you guys. Take care. Stay safe. Stay smart.
I'll catch y'all boys in the next one. Peace.